All right, we're recording. So let's get started. Hey, you guys, Crystal Carmatz here, leader and founder of Crew United. I am really excited to be bringing you this training today because I watched another training myself from another top 10 coach, and I started thinking about what are the top 10 things that we should be doing as coaches. Like, what do we need to be doing as coaches to see the most success? So I wanted to come in here and I wanted to give you my top 10 tips. And they're not just tips, they are things that I have learned from top 10 coaches, from elite coaches, from multi-million dollar earning coaches. So these are things that I have carried along with me in my own business, and they are train of thoughts, they are actions, they are different behaviors that I have done to build $1 million business. It's what I've done to collectively have 10 diamond coaches on my team. So I'm going to start going through those top 10 things. So I really hope you have a pen and paper handy, or you have your notepad or your computer handy so that you can be taking some notes. I am going to screen share my PowerPoint slides, so you will have that. And I will also be uploading the slides on the private team page on Facebook. So you will be able to find the slides there, but it's really helpful if you also have your notes. I've got my notes handy, so I am ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and screen share with you guys, and then we'll get started. Let's see, screen share. All right, so hopefully you can see that. Oh my gosh, I'm like bright pink right now. That is so funny. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So this training today is investing in yourself, investing in your dreams, investing in your goals, and you got to grind now so you can shine later. I'm wondering the easiest way to do this. There we go. All right, so obviously, my very first tip is there is no overnight success, you guys. You have got to be willing to bust your butt, bust ass, sacrifice, and you've got to be putting in the effort every single day, all right? You've got to think of the big picture. Like, think about it. What business only takes 3 months to succeed? You know, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people get into this, and, you know, I don't know why, but a lot of coaches, they get into this and they think their world is just going to turn upside down and change within 90 days. And like, that's just not how it works. It's not how it works. Okay. You know, you've got to always have one foot in front of the other. There is no overnight success. Any business that is promising you overnight success is full of shit. Like, it's not real. You've got to bust your ass. You need to ask yourself, and I have to ask myself this all the time. Am I putting in the work? If I was on my team, which I am, but you know what I mean? Like, if I was trying to recruit coaches right now, would I recruit myself? Okay. You've got to ask yourself, am I going at the right pace according to your goals? You've got to align everything. You need to be here. You need to commit to being here in 1 year. I guarantee you, if you give yourself 365 days, and not just like counting down the days, but I'm talking like intentional, focused, forward-focused energy into this business for 1 year, how far could you be? Think about that. You know, there's so many coaches that slow down, or they quit right at that tipping point. They get to that point of hitting a big milestone and they slow down. Or I'll hear a coach say, you know, I'm just going to take a step back. Like, what? You're going to take a step back, but why? Why stop the momentum? Why stop? Why stop here? Keep going. Life is always going to throw curveballs, you guys. It's always going to throw curveballs. What is different from how I used to be to how I am now is my mindset, but also how I deal with those curveballs. I used to deal with those curveballs awful, completely awful. But now I know how to take the things that life throw at me, and I know how to deal with it. I know how to think and to keep my eyes on the big picture, okay? And that's the momentum, and that's the thought process and the mindset you need. There is no overnight success. You are setting the stage today for 60 days from now. What you did today, you're going to see those results in the next 30, 60, 90 days. Okay? This isn't overnight. It's not something that you are going to have, you know, a six-figure business in the next 3 months. It doesn't work that way. But if you want to have a six-figure business in the next 12 to 18 to 24 months, then you've got to be putting in the work. You've got to be thinking about the big picture, okay? Number 2, the basics. Let me tell you right now, the basics of this business, they are your bitch. You need to make them your bitch. And sorry for the cursing today, but I'm so fired up about this training, okay? You have to be doing the 4 vital behaviors every single day, and you cannot skip. You cannot skip. And you've got to get out of management mode, okay? You got to get out of management mode. The basics are where you need to stay. It does not matter how successful you get, you have to stay in phase 1. Phase 1 is inviting, it is personal development, it's being a product of the product, and it is celebrating the success of your team, of your challengers, okay? You've got to stay in phase 1. Ask yourself, have I been slipping? Am I too worried about my coaches? Am I too worried about my team? Because here's the deal. Your team will rise up if they see you taking care of business. And if they're not rising up, then you're recruiting new coaches anyway, okay? You're constantly building your team. And you need to think about that. You've got to focus on yourself and on your business. You know, I use the same rule for my nutrition, the 80-20 rule. Sometimes it's 70-30, but 80% of your business is about you and your behaviors and what you are doing. 20% is about your coaches. So you need to stop making it so complicated. You are making it complicated. Take the complication out, take the unknown out, go back to the basics. And you can't skip. Without fail, you cannot skip. You have to set the example and show up so that your team will set an example and they will show up. You can't be worrying about making pictures on PicMonkey and creating content and stuff like that. That can't be your focus. Yes, you're building a brand and you might have to set aside, you know, an allotted time every single day to be building your brand. But when it comes to your behaviors and your to-do list every single day, every week, every month, every quarter, it goes back to the vital behaviors. It goes to the basics. Stick with the basics without fail. It will not matter how successful you are. You've got to stick with the basics. And that seems so repetitive and it seems boring, but you guys, there's no secret sauce to this business other than the basics and consistently doing the basics. Consistently doing the basics. Once you get the basics done and it's just a habit and you can do it without thinking, that's when you take on doing more trainings. That's when you take on creating pretty content, okay? But until you get those basics down without fail as a habit, without even thinking about it, you gotta stick with it. You've gotta do it and you can't skip. Number 3, excuses. Excuses are assholes. Everyone has one, all right? You know, and you've got to be willing to call yourself out. You've got to be willing to show up every single day, all right? Like I said, life happens. Curveballs are thrown, but you cannot allow those things to stop your business, okay? If you had a brick and mortar business, if you had a business out there where you invested $250,000, would you be quitting? No, you wouldn't. You'd be working harder than ever to keep it going, okay? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. How are you using your 24 hours? You've got to be effective. You've got to plan your day, especially if you still have a full-time gig, especially if you've got kids and a husband and other responsibilities. You have to plan your day more than anyone else, okay? And believe me, you never have the excuse that you have a lack of resources, okay? You've got resources coming out of your ears. You have resources at the tips of your fingers at all times. The Platinum Presenter site, the back office, my YouTube channel. You can be Googling and YouTubing other top coaches in the business. There's never a lack of resources. There's only a lack of resourcefulness. If you're waiting for your upline coach to just hand you everything, you're going to be waiting for a long time. It's not our job to do this business for you. You cannot blame anyone else around you if you don't succeed. Only yourself. Your upline is here to give you the tools to succeed. I am here giving you the tools to succeed. You have to choose if you are going to do this, okay? You have to choose to set an alarm 30 minutes earlier and get up and do business. You choose that. There was a top coach that spoke, I don't know, I feel like it was back in spring, like March or April, I don't remember. But anyway, she says she wakes up an extra 30 minutes early every single day, and she sends out 20 invites a day. 20 invites every single morning, and she does it without fail. Imagine how many Success Club points she gets every single month. Imagine how many coaches she signs up every month. Imagine where she's going with her business every single month, okay? Stop wasting your time creating content and making pretty pictures. You have resources coming out of your ears. There's no secret to this business. You just got to get up and do it, okay? Stop ignoring the resources and just use them. Go to Google, go to YouTube. My upline coach did not hand me and silver spoon feed me in this business, okay? She told me what to do. She told me where to find things, and I went and did it. I'm responsible for my own success. Next thing, if you're not inviting people, if your excuse is that you're scared or you don't have confidence, that's a huge excuse. Not inviting people is selfish, you guys. It is so selfish. Stop being afraid. Get up and do it. You are sitting on a gold mine. You have this gift. And when you start to view this business as a gift, you don't want to stop giving, okay? So why hold back? Even if you don't have this six-figure, huge transformation story in your business, maybe you were able to fill your tank up this time instead of having to stop at $10. Maybe you were able to buy groceries or pay for daycare expenses. Maybe you're paying off your debt with your extra income. This is an opportunity that you can be doing on your computer, in your yoga pants, in your PJs if you want, hiding behind a computer screen. I don't have wine in front of me, but pretend my Zevia is a wine. I can be doing this and sharing, and it's an opportunity, and I love it. Not inviting and not sharing is selfish because I want other people around me, I want them to feel the freedom that I am allowed to feel every single day. I laid in bed with my husband today until 2 p.m. My nanny came over, she took care of our daughter, and me and my husband, we laid in bed, we cuddled, we talked, we had our time together, and I didn't have to worry. I need a drink because I'm going on. I didn't have to worry about getting dressed. I didn't have to worry about doing my hair or taking a shower or checking in with a boss or calling in sick or taking a vacation day. I didn't. I laid in bed with my husband. We watched NCIS. We laughed. We made jokes. And it was freeing. It was amazing. And then at 2 p.m., I got up. I came into my office. I sat down. I'm revitalized. I'm refreshed. I feel amazing. I sat down. I listened to some trainings. I checked in with my challengers. I created this training. And that to me is living a life of freedom. I don't have to do this job. I get to do this job. 3 to 4 years of hard work to live life by design, the next 3 or 4 years are going to pass by anyway. Are you still going to be sitting in that same spot you're in today? Are you going to allow yourself to sit in the same spot today in 3 or 4 years? Is that fair? I mean, if you're fine with living the same life you're living in the next 3 to 4 years, that's great. And that's amazing for you. But where I was 6 years ago, I would not be okay sitting in that same spot today. I would not be okay living a life where it's paycheck to paycheck, having the unknown, not knowing when the next credit card interest bill was going to come in, not knowing what each day was going to look like, not knowing if I'm going to have to choose between diapers and feeding myself. I'm sorry, but that wasn't an option for me. I was tired of working a 50-hour-a-week job only to have a cap on my head and them telling me I was only worth $9 an hour. What the shit? No, I'm worth so much more than $9 an hour, and so are you. So are you. Even if you're making a 6-figure income in corporate America, that's amazing. But are you living free? Do you have a life of freedom? That's up for you to decide. That's up for you to choose. But excuses, don't give me excuses and tell me why you can't. Tell me why you can. Tell me where you're going to make this business happen every single day. Number 4, Success Club is non-negotiable. This is a big deal, okay? This is your job. This indicates where you are in your business and where you're going, okay? Success Club, it equals your current and future success, all right? Are you scrapping by every single month and barely making it? If that's the truth, you might not have Success Club as your priority. And it could be because you're thinking of points, okay? And you're like, I don't want my business based on a point system. Okay, great. Stop thinking of it as points. Start thinking of it as people. How many new people are you going to help this month? If you're doing the right activities and you're staying in phase 1, there's no reason that you should not be hitting Success Club. You guys, I went 4 years without hitting Success Club and then I missed it. I missed it. 4 years, 48 months nonstop of hitting Success Club, and I lost it. And it still hurts to this day. I still have that hole in my chest to this day. And it's because I didn't pay it forward enough that month. I didn't help enough people. I could have been having my worst day, and it's probably not nearly as bad as someone else out there who needs Beachbody, who needs this opportunity. But I allowed myself to make excuses and not stay in phase 1, and I lost it. Okay? I lost it. This is your job, and I find it crazy when coaches don't hit Success Club. This is your job to help people. When my coaches, they come to me and they say that they need money for whatever, flight to Summit, they just want to buy their Summit ticket, whatever it is. I turn Success Club into how many challenge packs they need to sell. One challenge pack is a $50 commission, okay? So you just told me you need $350 for your flight to Summit next month. Great. How many Success Club points how many challenge packs do you need to sell? You do the math, okay? Once again, No one is to blame if you hit Success Club or not, except for yourself. Except for yourself. Like I said earlier, if you owned a brick and mortar and you didn't hit Success Club, do you know what that's like? It's like not being open. And it's like you not opening the doors that day and you not showing up. That's what missing Success Club is like every single month. You need to know what Success Club is. You need to understand it and you need to do it. Okay? If you're not hitting it, you're not in phase 1 and you're making excuses. Reel it in, and sounds so country right there. Oh my gosh, Crystal. Reel it in, take a pause, examine your business. Where is your time going? Are you spending your time making excuses for why you can't do this business? Are you wasting time scrolling Instagram and scrolling Facebook? Are you wasting your time comparing yourself? Where is your time going? Great. You tell me, Crystal, I've got 90 minutes a day. I can't go over 90 minutes a day in my business. Perfect. I did it too. You know what? I was working 50 hours a week with a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old at home, sitting in my laundry room on a pop-up table with my laptop, and half the time my laptop didn't work because it was a piece of shit. So I had to use my phone. You know what? I built $1 million business from this phone. If I can do it, you can do it. No excuses. Number 5, like I just said, are you wasting time comparing yourself? Because comparison is the thief of joy. You will not see the benefits. You will not feel the joy and the happiness and the fun if you are comparing yourself. You do you. You keep your head down and you worry about your own damn self. Stop comparing. Because you know what? This business comes down to you. What other coaches are doing and what other coaches' milestones are being hit, that's not paying your bills. And if you're wasting your time being jealous and comparing other coaches and their success, you aren't succeeding and moving forward to your own milestones, and you're not paying your own bills. The next coach, and that coach out there, has nothing to do with your business. And your page 3 of this business is completely different than my page 103, because I've been doing this a lot longer. I've been doing this for, I've been signed up for 7 years, doing this actively for 6. You have to do you. My chapters are completely different from yours. Don't compare. Number 6, vision. You have to visualize where you're going to be at in the next 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. You need to meditate on it. You need positive affirmations. You need to manifest. You need to train yourself to visualize where you want to be. It's not enough to say it. What do you want to feel like? Do you want your butt in the sand and your toes in the sand? Great. What does that sand feel like? What does the ocean air smell like? What fruity drink is the waiter bringing you? You got to manifest on it. You got to visualize it. Get a goal board, get a dream board going on. Share it with your team. Share it with your spouse. Share it with your significant other. You deserve money. You deserve to be rich, and who cares? If you want to be rich, you tell people that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be rich. There's nothing wrong with wanting success. It's the small-minded people out there that are telling you otherwise. Be excited to jump out of bed every single day. If you aren't excited to jump out of bed every single day, then there's something going on. There's something holding you back. Write things down as they have already happened. I am a 15-star diamond. I am making $10,000 a week. My goal. Your goal might be, I am making $1,000 a week. I am making $2,000 a week. You need to think about this as this is your only option. There is no plan B. So there is no half-ass. This is all in. This is your back is against the wall and you have no other choice but to do this business and show up every single day. Number 7, be a student first. You have to constantly be fueling your mind, improving your knowledge. You know, no one is above learning in this business. So don't think because you made it to Diamond or you're a Success Club All-Star or a Success Club Legend or your Premier, your Elite or your 5-star or your 10-star that you've made it and that you no longer need to be a student because you know it all. Guess what? That's not how it works. Okay? That's not how it works in this business. This business is ever evolving and so are you. So no matter your success, you will always be learning. And it's not enough to just jump on these webinars, which you are a badass for being here. That means you're here. You're here for a reason. But you have to apply what you learn. You're not doing yourself any favors and you're not doing your team any favors and you're not doing the people out there that need this business any favors if you're not sharing it. Hopefully you guys can hear me right now. I think you can. Let me see here. Is there a... I think we're good. And I'm not sure. But you have to be a student. The more you learn, the more you are going to earn. Sorry, you guys, just one second. All right, just making sure we're all here. All right, the more you learn, the more you will earn. And that's because this business is ever evolving. Why wouldn't you show up? Why wouldn't you put in the work? Because the more work you put into it, the more you're going to learn. The more you're going to want to just jump out of bed. The more you're going to want to course correct when you fall off course and something doesn't work anymore and you feel like you have failed, but you haven't failed. You're just learning a new way to do it, right? Being a student reignites you when it's not all roses and rainbows, because this business isn't all roses and rainbows. You face defeat. You face moments of when you're questioning yourself and you don't know if you're doing the right things. You're going to face it. We all do. It doesn't matter how long, I can't scoot up in my chair. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing this business. You're going to face a time where you're just not sure. And that's like with anything in life. But here's the deal. You're going to know you're sure because this business ignites something in you. It sparks something in you that makes you never want to give up. That makes you never, like, you guys, if I could turn my screen right now, I can see out in my backyard. And I'm looking at my husband. And he's chasing her. She'll be 18 months in a couple of weeks. And he's chasing her around the trampoline. And like, they just went and sat on our back porch. And they're rocking in the rocker right now. You guys, like, if I was still in that job, if I was still working that job is shift work, like, I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't be in this amazing house I wouldn't be here with you. If I would have given up every time I got tough, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be looking outside and just seeing so much happiness and so much freedom. Because that's the reason I wake up every day. And you need to have something that brings tears to your eyes just like that. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Whew. All right, so be a student. Number 8, control the controllable. Think about this. What can you control and what can't you control? You cannot make your team show up. You cannot make your team want this more than they want it. You cannot control that, okay? You do what you can, and the only things you can control are your behaviors. The only things you can control is staying in phase 1, okay? You're not a manager. You're not a micromanager, even though sometimes you feel like it. You need to tell people, look, this is my bus. This is my bus, and you can get off my bus if you don't want to ride my bus. Because otherwise, those people are sucking your energy. There's times I have to go through my downline, look at the names, and be like, bless and release. That person is not doing what they need to do. They're kind of dragging me down. They're negative Nancy's. They're sucking the energy out of me. Bless and release. Because guess what? I stay in phase 1, and I'm constantly building my network. I'm constantly adding new coaches to my team. I'm constantly building the tribe that I want. I'm building my legacy. You've got to do the same. Control the controllable, and the only thing you can control are your behaviors and your actions. And your team is going to follow your behaviors and your actions. So remember, be the leader you want on your team. Number 9, consistency. It is king. It is king, okay? If you are doing all of these things, but you're not being consistent, you might as well just flush it down the toilet, okay? Be consistent. Be consistent long enough to see the rewards. You can't expect fireworks at 30 days because what you're doing today is going to pay off in the next 30, 60, 90 days. It's not overnight, you guys. I said that in the beginning. You need to have a serious conversation with yourself. Am I doing the activities? Am I doing it consistently? And am I doing the activities consistently for long enough where I can judge, okay? You can't tell me after 30 days, after 60 days, after 90 days that you have put everything into this. You can't tell me that. I won't listen. It's going to be a la, la, la thing, okay? Step back. Go to work. Come back in a year, all right? Believe in the compound effect. Time is your friend. Time is your friend. Time is going to pass by anyway. So show up. Be consistent. That brings me to number 10, show up, okay? It's so easy that we skip steps, okay? Because this business is not hard to do. What makes this business hard is the show up, okay? You have to have ownership mindset. You have to make this business a priority. Are you showing up every single day? You are a CEO, so act like it. Yeah, you might only had to invest $40 to get into this. Unless you bought a challenge pack, then what, 160 bucks? Okay, great. Pretend that you just spent 160,000. Because here's the deal. If you treat this like a hobby, you're going to get paid like a hobby. And guess what? Most hobbies don't pay. Okay, you got to participate. Go to live events. Be a part of the team page. Be a part of the team cup. Get on webinars. Okay? Be a part of the community. Immerse yourself in that. Bleed Beachbody blue. Like, I don't know, but don't be a pansy. Like, you've got to show up. You've got to do this. If you have big goals, then you've got work to do. There is no silver platter here, you guys. There's no silver platter. So why can't you do it? Why can't you show up? You need to have a conversation with yourself, circle back around and figure out where you're lacking. What is the missing piece, okay? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. You've got to hustle. Your dreams are an investment. Your dreams are not for free, okay? You don't have to have all the talent in the world. You don't have to have the best body in the world. You don't. Because guess what? Hard work is going to beat talent any day of the week if talent doesn't show up and work hard. We all get in funks in our business. We all go through a plateau, but you got to pull on your big girl panties. You got to pull yourself out of it, and you've got to be your own superhero. You've got to be your own CEO. That's why you join this. Don't settle for mediocre. There's so much potential in this business, so don't sit on the gold mine. Don't sit and wait. No one's going to hand you anything. Every single day, you've got to do a little more. One step forward. Don't let the fear paralyze you. Don't let the fear of where you could potentially be paralyze you. Focus on the next step. Focus on the next activity, not the far off goal. All right, you guys. Go back. All right. Let me stop sharing. Come back over to you. If anyone has any questions, please ask me. You could also comment on this video on the team page, but thank you so much for joining me and for being here and for being a part of this training. I found that these are some of my best tips to give you to hopefully pull you out of whatever funk you might be in, or if you're a brand new coach, hopefully it inspires you into action. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you on the team page soon. All right, bye you guys.